right. Well, I'm Brent Leary.
I'm Paul Greenberg.
We are the CRM Playaz, and this definitely is a record of what, like, we've done at least one every week for the whole year.
I guess we can just rest on our laurels. Nice to see you, my friend. We're going to head out.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah, don't even have to say anything.
Right.
Just-
Just bask in the celebration.
all right. So we're actually here in San Francisco at Salesforce's Analyst Summit 2019, and with us to kind of help have a little fun while we're here at the Analyst Summit, Nasi Jazayeri. Did I say it right?
You said it perfectly. Better than my wife. Right. Well done.
He's going to fit right.
I know. I'm
right.
just hoping she doesn't watch.
That's right. Well, anyway, Nasi is the EVP of Technology and Product.
At least for this current 5 minutes.
Yes.
Yes.
For, now, what set of clouds? Salesforce.org?
Yes. So
the trilogy.
Salesforce.org has 3 clouds, 3 vertical markets we're focused on. Number 1, nonprofits, which is nonprofit cloud. Number 2 is education for K through 12 and higher ed. And number 3 is corporations, which is Philanthropy Cloud.
This is cool. So before we get started, me and Paul are going to try to live up to what you did at Dreamforce
Yes.
during the Philanthropy Cloud.
Yeah.
Because you had a certain set of co-hosts. Steve Young,
Yes.
Jerry Rice, Hall of Famers.
Yeah. Well, we got you.
Yeah, we got you two here. This is great. I can't ask for more.
Well, you know, we have a lot to live up to.
Yeah.
So we'll try.
Yeah, we have so much to live up to, we'll probably die trying.
All right, first of all, thanks for joining us.
Indeed, this is exciting. Looking forward to this.
We better quit while we're ahead right now.
Yeah.
So I do have a question for you.
Sure.
So you said nonprofit, education, and
Corporation.
which is Philanthropy Cloud particularly. So we'll get to education later, but I want to sort of talk about, we've talked about, and I'm sure you've heard us on this show, we've talked about Philanthropy Cloud multiple times because I think both of us think it's kind of an amazing piece of work.
Matter of fact,
And
that I think is the most viewed video that we posted in 2019.
yeah,
Are you serious?
What we talking
Oh,
about?
I didn't know
Yeah.
that
Yes,
stat. This is
that is true.
amazing. Oh, I love
It's
it.
over 4,000. I think it's closing on 5,000 views.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
It is.
Very exciting.
well, pretty exciting.
Yeah. Very exciting.
So
You guys are that video is a Hall of Famer. Look, so already we're getting there.
Oh, there you go. Yes, it was very exciting in that case. So, talk a little bit about the difference, though, between nonprofit cloud and
Sure.
philanthropy cloud.
Sure.
And why they're different to begin with.
Yeah, so nonprofit cloud is the CRM for nonprofits. So basically everything they do, from a donor database to servicing people through Service Cloud, engaging people through Marketing Cloud. So all aspects, and of course fundraising is a big portion of it. But fundraising and with corporate employee giving, volunteering are the common across the 2 clouds. Beyond that, how you service your constituents, in this case refugees, for example, if they need housing, they need healthcare, they need financial stability, how do you manage all that? That's what nonprofit cloud allows you to do.
So do they come as a kind of integrated couple when they, when you present them, or you just sort of present them separately, or?
So today, since we're going into different markets, they are presented separately. But as we're going forward in FY20, which is 2019, this is where we are integrating all of our clouds end to end.
Oh,
And that is super important because we were just chatting about this. I had an epiphany as I was just going through our sales kickoff, our company kickoff in February. I was trying to see, how do I really talk about these clouds? And as I was putting my slides together, I realized individuals are at the heart of everything we do. Individuals are at the heart of everything our customers do. And when I was looking at how our customers are engaging with individuals at every stage of their life, I realized K through 12, we have a system for that. Higher ed, we have a system for that. Employment, we have a system for that. When you are retired, we have a system for that. So all of these, if you really look at it, then how do you make sure that these people and their profile and their history is moving from one system to another, so you can provide a far more efficient, personalized, and effective programs for them. And this is the moment that I'm like, we have to bring all of these clouds and integrate them through a common profile data model that people can benefit from their interaction with the CRM system.
So is the concept, so years ago, well, they probably still exist. It was an organization whose acronym, I remember, but what it stands for escapes me completely. It's called ACRO, higher ed. Oh, right.
An
education.
acronym called ACRO?
ACRO. Well, it was spelled a little
Not Afro.
AACRAO. It was college administrators, among other things.
Okay.
And they had this concept called student experience management or student engagement management. And I did some work with them, and I tried to extend the concept to what I called student for life.
Mm-hmm.
And the concept was you start being a student before you matriculate at a college, meaning you're at a high school, you mean a college student before you matriculate. And then you matriculate, you graduate, you stay in the college ecosystem in some way. At some point, you maybe become a donor. I forget what is it.
Alumni. And
Alumni,
then you
and you're a
engage.
donor. And then there's,
Yeah.
what do they call when you leave grants in the will again? There's a name for it when you leave the grant in a, when you leave money in a will to a college. There's a whole.
Endowment?
It is, well, not exactly, but it's like that, but there's an actual section. Like they actually, colleges have a specific group that handles that. But that's the life of a student.
Sure.
And then their kids go to the college as,
yeah.
you know, alumni. But the question becomes, and it goes to the heart of what you're saying too, since you're talking about an ecosystem from over a period of time, is there's a lot of periods where they're not doing anything. And yet, if you lose the engagement, they don't come back and do something later. So how do you deal with that?
Well, right now we're looking at many different ways of engaging with them. So if you look at, we just talked about universities. So there's a whole section, whole operation around advancement. How do you continue to engage with your alumni via attending football games, to basketball games, to research paper, to voluntary events, to mentorship, you name it, they're trying to drive that. And one of the key things that we are looking to do that is to drive that, what I call engagement hub. How do you, which is, if you look at Philanthropy Cloud, is an engagement hub.
Yeah.
So how do we create a Philanthropy Cloud for each educational institution, for each K through 12, for their parents and friends, etc. So that is the area that we want to continue to drive. But furthermore, as an individual, when you are in Philanthropy Cloud, in the marketplace, we can continue to engage with you through continuous learning. So if you look at Trailhead, it's a very good example. Imagine that you have all the educational institutions, companies like Salesforce, Amazon, etc., and individuals who are certified creating certified content that can be pushed into Trailhead and then pushed out through recommendation to people for continuous learning. You would engage, why wouldn't you? This is going to just help you to get better and better with new technology, with new compliance issues and all that, depending what you do. So the concept of driving content and pushing it out that's relevant to you will keep you engaged at all times. Doesn't matter if you're working through continuous learning at work, doesn't matter if you're not working, continuous learning as an individual. There are many channels we can drive that engagement with individuals. And education, as we said, lifelong learners is a great example of that. You never stop learning.
No.
So you never stop attending basketball games and football games and so on. So all these different type of engagement will keep you engaged one way or another.
Well, see, I graduated Northwestern, and years ago, there was a lot of times I didn't attend basketball football games because we were once 0-32, and then our coach went on to have a career in the National Football League, Dennis Green.
That's right. No,
right?
that's right. I
So
forgot that.
we were 0 and 32, so that kind of engagement was not going to happen.
Yeah, but that's only one type of
Right.
engagement. We have many. That's how we're going to bring you in.
All right, let me ask you, because one of the things, I like to focus a little bit on small business.
Sure.
And one of the things that we even talked about a while back is, how do you get small businesses involved more with philanthropy?
Sure.
And allowing them to, a lot of them want to do more, they don't know how to do more, and they really don't know how to make it easy for their employees to do more. How do you go
Yes.
about doing that?
So there was a line that the world is moving from transactions into relationships. Who said that?
Not me.
Not, who said that?
I wrote it, but
So
I'm
there
sure
it
somebody
is.
else wrote it before
I
me.
think that was a great line. It truly, that's where everything's headed. It's all about relationships. So as a SMB, small, medium businesses, for you to prosper, to flourish in your community, how do you do that? Through engagement. And volunteering is the best way to get engaged. Now the question comes that, how would they know what is happening in their community, how they can get engaged? So this goes back to Philanthropy Cloud, a marketplace, where you have access, which is smart enough to understand about your profile, understand about your geography, your location, your interest, your skills, and be able to, when you log in, be able to come and tell you, here's a list of events, activities that's happening in your local area, engage. And the minute you engage, you go in a public library and help people there, you go into a school and tutor, first grade, second grade, etc. This is how your brand gets the word around, and people, you're doing good, they're going to help you do well. I truly believe that is the new way of introducing yourself and generating leads by having a very good intention. Having a very good intention. I'm going to say that again.
Leading
It's
with that, right?
to lead with that.
Yeah.
And that can drive, even though you're a 2-3 person company, you do 4 hours a week, each employee. That gets the word around. And I think that's the new way of getting out there and introducing yourself, your company, and your DNA and your values. And that's going to drive. People come and do relationship with you and transact with you following that. That's the belief that we see now. We see more and more of that from small to big companies. You look at all these big brands. How do they drive their consumers? Through their values. It's just not their products. It's their values. And the value, you look at Adidas, is a great example. Ocean conservation.
Wait, is it Adidas or Adidas?
Adidas, you're right.
Well, no, I'm just
No,
saying,
no, no, no,
you're
no.
the only people who ever called it Adidas I've ever heard,
You
including
are,
them.
it's Adidas, you are right.
Is it Adidas or Adidas?
Adidas.
I don't know.
No, you're right, you're right. Thank you. You're right.
I'm gonna have to.
It's so true. I got to learn how to
But
say
you know
it.
what? I'm gonna have to defer to my old Run DMC.
Is it Gator or Gala? I don't know.
I don't know. Is
So-
it Nikes or Nikes?
No, but that's a great example
Yeah.
of people
New Balance.
truly trying to mobilize their consumers to help, and that's their goal. They truly believe in ocean conservation, and this is going to apply. Doesn't matter what size company you are. When you put your best foot forward, your intentions, people gravitate towards you, and I think that's a new way of building relationships, and then, of course, with that comes people want to do business with you.
All right, so I got two questions for you.
Yes.
The first question is, if it's true that we're moving from transactions to relationships, does that mean I can get a complete instance of Marketing Cloud and Interaction Studio for like 3 hugs?
I'm going to take the fifth on that, as I told you guys.
I mean, it makes sense. I don't need money.
Yeah.
So we're moving from the sharing economy to the hugging economy?
Yeah.
It works for me.
Yeah.
I'd be the richest guy. I got the method. I own the method.
I'm going to make sure
I've-
I'm going to ask your account
copyrighted-
executive
Talk to 'em.
if they're willing to take
I mean,
hugs as a new currency.
If
Why
you're
not?
sticking by your principle, we're
Yeah.
moving from
Hugs is the new
transactions
Yeah.
to relationships.
Why not?
Hugs has to be the
Hey,
new
it
currency.
could be.
It's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
All right, so now here's the other question, which is far less serious. It's, so if I'm listening to everything you just said, everything from the
Yes.
beginning, there's a significant potential for a bigger story than even any individual piece in smart cities, in what you're talking about. I mean, you're talking about, in effect, let's say, taking it overall, the ability to socially engage and interact in ways that are beneficial to the individuals who are doing the engagement and those who are engaged, or they are engaged by, within the context of a city that's being, let's say, enabled through more advanced technologies as time goes on, and up to and including, IoT type technologies. But ultimately, if you're looking at a smart city, the purpose isn't just efficiency; it's also improved engagement. And there's been studies all over the world, and actual examples, neighborhoods in Sweden, for example, that are engaging their constituents by building out kind of a green neighborhood, but doing it by using a game called
Not Pokemon.
No, that's stupid. This is a game put out by Paradox called City Skyline, and they're bringing people in and they're helping to construct and measure the city. This is the actual potential people living there, and they're then implementing it, and then they're doing it with smart devices and sensors in combination with social good. So I know Salesforce has let's call it, not just a capital G when they talk about good, but a capital S when they talk about social in this one too. So the question is, though, what Salesforce doesn't talk a lot about, although public sector kind of does, Casey Coleman and the like, is smart cities. Yet, for you guys, given everything you're talking about, it's a fantastic opportunity to tell a really big story that is actually already a serious, being made a serious effort by cities all over the world, at least at a pilot level. It's not fully anywhere, really. So is that being discussed? And if it is, why are we not hearing more about it?
No, I think you have a radically different angle on this, which is a very smart angle. You're looking at it, smart city, before it was all about IoT being efficient. Smart city could be all about being smart about engagement. And smart city is not just smart city, it's a smart country and smart universe at that point. No, but guess what? Refugees move. People are moving. This is not about, nobody stays in one city.
But they don't go to Alpha Centauri.
No, but people move. And I think if you really take that forward, play it forward, so you had a great idea, I'm trying to play it forward. It's not about smart city, it's about smart countries and smart continents, etc. Because if everything's connected and you know about people no matter where they are, guess what? You can help them. LinkedIn has no notion of city or country or what. No matter where you go, you have access to your profile, but the profile is not being utilized the way.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's from my standpoint, I think from the opportunity to improve just let's call it the plight of mankind, smart, forget IoT for a minute, just smart, meaning doing the things that are designed to improve in ways that are effective, okay, that's how I call smart, first of all, it's a gigantic need, second, it's a gigantic opportunity, and third, honestly, if it doesn't happen, we're going to have problems just going to continue to increase. We've already evolved to the point as in society where that's become necessary, largely because we do have all that data on everybody, right? It's out there. So the idea is make some valuable use of it rather than some venal or evil use of it.
Yeah, doing anything we can do to help improve state of life for individuals.
Exactly.
That's what Smart City was about initially, but it was about parking spaces and saving electricity on the...
It's like the first...
So, but we're taking it, you're taking it wisely to the next level that why not continue on that theme and push it forward, but through engagement and understanding of individuals. So no matter who you're interacting with, if they know more about you, they can interact better and engage better. And I think that's a very wise lens into this.
Yet these lenses, I'm still blind
So,
without. Even
So
with-
Dreamforce 2020.
2020.
Okay.
I need to
that
build
could
a
be-
great
no,
story
don't
and so
forget,
on.
with their fiscal year, that could
There
be
it
this
is.
year. That's probably this year.
We're going to, all of us going to be on stage and we're going to talk
Let's
about
do
this.
it.
All right,
Let's do it.
I'll be Jerry. You be Steve.
Yeah.
I can't throw a football, man.
This
I'm
is
terrible.
great.
My hands are too
Indeed.
small.
So
No, that's very exciting.
where do you think we are today in that vision? What do people and organizations need to do to take full advantage of that vision?
Yeah, I think the first thing is first to put our house in order, which is create a common data model where all of our clouds are integrated through. Salesforce has already started. It's called Customer 360. But what you see there is within the organization. It doesn't go across organization. The model we're talking about at .org has to go across organization, about the individual and its interaction with the CRM.
Yep.
Then CRM within the organization. That's number one. Number two is creating a standard, cross-platform. I mean, if truly we want this to be widely utilized and everybody
You mean
benefit, and
what standard? A data standard?
yeah, a person, what a person profile may look like
So
to be able to share.
So you know, of course, of I can't believe you even give me this opening.
ODI.
ODI. So you're not in that. Salesforce is not in this SAP, Adobe, Microsoft.
Yeah.
And you're not.
Yeah, it just started.
Well, you're going to be in it?
Well, these are the stuff we need to look into. This is our first step into the journey.
I'm a big
I
believer in
cannot
all-
talk in behalf of Salesforce, but I can talk about our intention, where we want to go. And I think that these are the stuff that we should look into.
I'm
Yeah.
entirely with you, but, so here's the thing. So if you look at how standards are built, right, I have a little bit of knowledge of, not experience with, but knowledge of. Because of some people at Oracle who taught me about this years ago. It was a standard for, design standard for software usability. Here's what they did. They got together, it was Oracle, Microsoft, and oddly enough, Boeing. Yeah, and I want to say IBM was involved, but I don't remember for sure. And then they got the National Institute of Science and Technology, NIST, as a neutral body. The four of them, the four companies, fought through, worked out. NIST became the neutral arbiter, and then they came up with an actual standard, which became the standard for, I don't know if it still is, but it was the standard for software usability. And then, when they wanted to internationalize it, they went to the ISO, and the ISO began working with them to help them internationalize it, but they already had a foundational standard. ODI doesn't do that. I don't know if you're doing that with anybody, but ultimately, governments have to get involved. Neutrality, neutral agencies have to be involved, or else it doesn't count.
Yeah, I personally think, again, the way you move things forward is through critical mass. You can sit over there, 3 company, 4 company, build stuff and all that. You cannot create a standard till there's critical mass where people are using it.
Right.
And now that they're using it,
PDF.
they will expect other vendors who are in their IT ecosystem to interact.
Yes, you're right.
So, as I said, put your house in order first, drive the critical mass through our own clouds. They are doing it themselves through the 3 consortiums they have. When whoever has the critical mass, guess what? Can now other people, now if a lot of people are using this model, make sure that you integrate and you can push that forward. So I truly believe it's any company's job, if they want to push the standard, drive the critical mass, and then your customers on your behalf will drive that forward with other vendors. That's my belief, that's my playbook, and that's what we will do, and that's what Salesforce is doing with Customer 360. So let's see where this goes, but our goal is to truly, this is our belief, and we want to take this forward, and we already pitched it to a bunch of customers in different industries within our own .org industries, and people are super excited about the concept. So let's build it, let's take it forward, let's show the value, how this works through your different stage of life with different customers that we have, and that'd be the binding of, we talk about sector alignment, we talk about cross-sector alignment, this will bring people together. This will bring sectors together. And I think it'd be a very exciting thing. We just need to fast track it. And that's our goal this year, to drive this forward.
Wow, that's a big and
That is-
admirable goal.
It is. But you have to have big vision
Yeah.
Yeah.
to get somewhere. Otherwise, this all becomes tactics, not a
right.
strategy, not a vision. And
Amen.
yes, that's our
Let's,
goal.
one last thing.
Yeah.
All right. Ordinarily, we don't do this, but we both really do love Philanthropy Cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't you talk about, normally, we usually don't have sales pitches,
Sure.
but you're welcome to have one on Philanthropy Cloud.
Sure.
You
What would
you've
you like
earned
me
the
to
right.
talk?
Yes,
What
you
would you
have.
like? What would you?
Just you're talking to people who may or may not know about it.
Right.
I mean, they've heard us talk about
Yes.
it, but you're the guy.
Sure. I'll tell you guys about Philanthropy Cloud. So Philanthropy Cloud is a marketplace. It's a marketplace where you have corporations, their employees, individuals, educational institutions, nonprofits, foundations, and soon government in there to come together and solve
Big-
issues.
big
Not, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not even about big issues.
Yeah.
Solve issues.
Okay.
Any issue. Start solving issues. Big issues, small issues. There's a lot of issues that you can really move the ball forward. It doesn't need to be this humongous issue. Solve the issues. And the way you do that is by giving individuals access to all these opportunities so they can form, they can activate their own cohorts, etc., and drive that forward. Community Cloud will allow, at the first step, individuals, employees within the company, the employees, come together and connect with their communities through nonprofits, through educational institutions, and then foundations will get involved next. That's the next step, to have a module for foundations so they can drive grants, connect to nonprofits, and see what everybody in that community is asking for to drive that. Because the more you know about individuals getting involved and so on, the more aware you are in terms of your strategy. Then following that is cross-company. So if Salesforce is excited about homelessness and they are, just passed the law around this, homelessness in San Francisco, why not create a voluntary opportunity that you can invite Google, you can invite Amazon, you can invite Dropbox, you can invite Box,
Just
etc.
don't invite Twitter.
Don't. That's why I didn't mention. But we should bring them in.
They won't come.
But nobody has such platform that an event crosses multiple companies. So that is the next big thing. It's how you bring critical mass. I keep talking about critical mass. And critical mass happens when you go cross corporation. So that's the next step. And this year specifically, we are going big on B2C. Businesses, because a lot of companies, when we pitch Philanthropy Cloud, they say, well, what about our supply chain? What about our partners? What about our customers? What about our consumers? How do we get them in here?
Yeah.
So then you can see how now you're getting bigger and bigger and bigger in terms of bringing and involving people that are part of your ecosystem. And this is where, again, what Mark Benioff, our CEO, talks about is how businesses become platform for change.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is, again, and connecting businesses together and driving that change is what Philanthropy Cloud is driving as its first phase.
Perfect.
I like the fact that you emphasize issues, and that doesn't necessarily be big issues.
Oh, yeah.
It could be issues that are important to you or your employees.
Exactly.
Something local.
And you have to be practical. You know, people throw the word of big issues, but when you're practical, that's when you move the ball forward.
Yes.
That is the most important, and show progress. You know what? We just came together and addressed this. Now let's take something a little bit bigger. Address that. It's just the proof points, and you're moving the ball forward constantly. And that is the most important thing, that we came together, we addressed the issue, now we're going to go to the next one. That is super important. Show traction.
All right.
Thank you,
That
sir.
was awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah, so where can people learn more? I mean, where can they go to learn more?
Yeah.
Where?
Where? To our website. Come to our website, salesforce.org.com, and then Philanthropy Cloud. We're both on salesforce.org website and salesforce.com products under industries.
Awesome.
So we're both there, and please come and give us feedback. Love to hear from you guys.
This is cool.
Yes, it was.
All right. Well, I'm Jerry Rice.
I'm Paul Greenberg at Lunch Table 4.
He's Steve Young.
Oh,
And I'm Nasi Jazayeri.
That's right.
I'm Steve Young.
Oh, we are. Yeah.
I'm young Steve.
He's young at heart.
I'm Steve
I like
Young
eating
at heart.
rice. Anyway, Brent Leary.
Paul Greenberg. We are once again out.